Hello everyone, it's been a really long time since I made a video. I did actually make one a few months ago, quite a few months ago, and then when I went to play it back there was no sound, and so I kind of rage quit videos for a little while, and I just got really busy. I moved, I'm living in a different place, like so much stuff has been going on, but anyway, so it's video time now, again, because I actually have something that I want to talk about. And I've noticed that this is a subject that I rarely see discussed in any kind of transition blogs or videos or websites or anywhere to do with transgender issues. But I want to talk about dreams, recurring dreams, and just the phenomenon of dreaming about your feelings and about your transition before and during. And it's really kind of funny, when I first spoke with another transsexual before I started taking testosterone and everything, which I've been on for a year now, by the way. One of the first things that she said to me was, don't be freaked out by your dreams. When you're going through transition, you're going to have some really weird dreams, and you're gonna think that they mean something that they probably don't mean. And another strange experience I had with that was I read the sort of long-running life story of a transsexual lady who described having a dream since childhood that was actually the identical dream that I've had since my earliest memories of childhood. So that's also a really interesting thing to me in general, how people can have dreams about the exact same stuff and it sort of means the same things. But it makes sense that there's so much for your subconscious to try to deal with when you're going through transition, and just life itself as a transsexual or a transgender person poses a lot of really deep issues for your subconscious to sort through. So my sleep has always been problematic. Like, since I was a really little kid, I've always had a problem with really bad nightmares and sleepwalking when I was really young, and then later when I got into puberty it turned into like chronic insomnia and like anxiety, like nocturnal anxiety. And I still have issues with that even now. Like, prior to coming out and prior to transition, I had like a huge issue with insomnia again and disturbed sleep. And that's gotten a lot better now that I'm, out and everything's out in the open, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's all fine, and everybody's okay with it. And, like, that takes a huge weight off for me. So I sleep better. But when I was a really small kid, I always had this dream, this nightmare, that I was trapped in a car that was left running, and the car was like moving, like rolling down a street or down a hill, and I was in the dream just the way a real little kid would be at 3 or 4 in that situation. Terrified because obviously I couldn't drive and the car was going to crash and I would, die in this car or whatever. And all through my life I've had that same dream, and then as I went through my teens, the dream would start to change, that I was like in this car that I had no clue how to drive, but I was gonna fake that I did know without a license, and then I was gonna try to sort of just like coast around in this car, and the brakes didn't work and nothing really worked, but as long as I didn't have to actually stop at a stoplight or do anything more than just coast along, I could fake it that I knew what I was doing and I wouldn't get arrested for, driving without a license or whatever. And I've always had these dreams about driving this freaking car, and well into adulthood. And then now that I've been going through transition, like, I've started having dreams about the car again, but now I'm I'm totally capable of driving the car. I just don't technically have that license, that piece of paper that proves it to an authority. But as far as I'm concerned, in the dream, I can get in the car and just go around, and I totally know how to drive a car, which is weird because I actually don't in real life know how to drive a car. I've never gotten my license, mainly because I have Meniere's disease, which is a progressive illness of the inner ear. And I can't drive because it would be really a bad idea for someone with vertigo problems to drive. But anyway, so yeah, it's really been noticeable to me that I've suddenly been having a lot more of that dream, and it's evolving in this really positive direction where it's clearly, I'm dreaming about my body. It's my vehicle in life. And, as a very young child, it was like this terrifying, imminent disaster for me. And then I guess through my teens and early adulthood, I was kind of learning how to fake it, but it was still not right at all. And now it's like, oh yeah, I mean, totally, it's mine. I can drive around, but, I still need to go through certain crucial steps, I guess, before people will really documented fact, yes, you are a male, and accept that. But yeah, I love dreams. I think it's so cool how the brain just breaks stuff down while we're sleeping. But the kind of dreams that I really wanted to mention in this video have to do with the kind of dreams that my friend warned me of when I was about to start transitioning, and that's dreaming that I'm presenting as female, or that I'm back in the past and living and presenting as female, or that I'm being perceived as female inexplicably. I have quite a lot of dreams about that. I had one last night, actually, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it today. And yeah, every once in a while I'll have these bizarre dreams that like someone has given me a gift of female clothing and they want me to wear it, or I'm stuck in some situation where I'm out in public and I'm dressed in women's clothes, but it'll be like halfway through the dream I suddenly realize, hey, wait a minute, like, why am I dressed like a woman? And then I get really insecure and upset about it in the dream, and it's pretty much like my version of that naked in public classic anxiety dream that people have. And I'm pretty sure that I dream about this just because of the discomfort that I feel in public when I get misgendered, because the further I go into my transition, the more upsetting and confusing it gets when I get misgendered, because earlier on I could understand when someone would go, oh, they'd think I'm a girl, because there were quite a lot of things about me physically and my voice and stuff that would kind of make people think I was a girl. But now I've come quite further in my transition, and I pass pretty much like 99% of the time with everybody as male. So when once in a blue moon someone does misgender me and call me female, it really freaks me out, because it's almost like, oh no, like how much more do I need to do here before that stops happening? Like, when's that magic moment gonna happen where like no one kind of reads me anymore? And I think every trans person goes through that. Like, it's just extremely disappointing. And I think when you get misgendered, the reaction is more, it's not just awkward and embarrassed in like a casual way. It can be really like a visceral, like deep disappointment where it's like you almost have to reaffirm a sort of pact that you have with yourself to kind of keep trudging on and not let it bring you down to a really like a dangerous point, because you can get to a really hopelessly awful point emotionally where you're just like, fuck, there's no end in sight to this bullshit. Like, and it can be an emotionally really unhealthy place to get into. So as much as it seems like a silly sort of casual thing to have somebody call you the wrong pronouns in a situation when you weren't expecting it or whatever, it can drop you like a freaking rock when it happens. And I guess, yeah, like I've been dreaming about that a lot and grappling with that feeling in my subconscious through these dreams, that I'm sort of stuck in public being forced to be a female, and it's like I'm reminding everyone in the dream, hey, you know I'm not a girl, right? And like I'm trying to remind everybody, you know that whole thing I'm doing where I'm not a girl? Yeah, that's still going on. Like that hasn't stopped just because I'm being made to wear this dress or whatever in this weird dream situation. And it's just I'm glad that someone warned me ahead of time that I would dream about that a lot, and that it doesn't mean that I'm like regretting transition or that I really truly am female inside and I'm trying to get back to that, because it's always a negative feeling. It's always a really like, oh no, not this again, whenever I have the having to wear girl clothes dream. But it gives you a nice wake up too, though, because when you wake up from those kinds of bad dreams and you're like, oh yeah, that's not actually happening, and that's a great feeling to start your day with. But anyway, so any people out there who are transitioning or approaching transition or aspiring to it or whatever, pay attention to your dreams, and like maybe don't overanalyze them, and don't let other people tell you what your dreams mean either. That I hate it when people do that, because that's private. Like your dreams mean what you fucking say they mean. But listen to your subconscious, and don't be scared of your dreams when you're going through this stuff, because it's a lot for your poor brain to deal with. And I guess I just rambled for like almost 13 minutes about that. So I'm going to go now. And if you guys have anything you want to talk about on this particular subject, like by all means, leave a message in the comments or do a video response of your own. Like maybe you have some weird transition dreams that you feel like you want to share. But yeah, I'd love to hear if this has been helpful or informative for other people. So have a good one. Leave me some comments. Bye, guys.